used to anymore. Love has been reduced into swiping right on Tinder. Bravery is being afraid of everything now. And being a baddie, well, baddie used to mean actually being a stylish, confident woman that had her life together. Now it's a convenient excuse to be an online prostitute and OnlyFans and call yourself sexually liberated while crying yourself to sleep because the guy you slept with won't text you back. And it's not just about the woman anymore, because this twisted ideology has slithered its way into the minds of little girls, teenagers, and insecure women desperate for validation on Instagram. The baddie aesthetic isn't just about makeup and fashion anymore. It's about a movement designed to sell self-destruction as empowerment. And I want to break it down for you to put you on game real quick. Let's talk about how the baddie thing became a justification for insecurity, prostitution, and worst of all, hypersexualization of children in our society. Once upon a time, being a baddie meant you were confident, ambitious, and took care of yourself. Now it means you wear a see-through shirt to class with no bra, seduce all the boys, film yourself twerking on Instagram, and call it female empowerment. Let's be real. The baddie aesthetic today is nothing but a carefully packaged version of self-objectification. It convinces women that the only way to be confident is to show skin, that the only way to be valuable is to be sexually desired. And if you dare question it like me, you'll be labeled a misogynist, an incel, or my personal favorite, insecure. No, sweetheart, I'm not insecure. I just have eyes. And let's talk about that for a second. You ever notice how the loudest baddies are actually the most insecure people in the room? The ones who need constant validation from social media, the ones who break down the moment they don't get enough likes, the ones who go through an entire personality crisis every time their hair color fades. Those are your modern day baddies, a group of miserable, lost, attention-starved women who have hoified themselves and convinced themselves that sexual validation is self-worth. Now let's get to the part that no one wants to say out loud except for me. The baddie aesthetic has become nothing more than a socially acceptable gateway into prostitution. Look at the rise of OnlyFans. How many girls get into content creation at only 18 only to regret it by 25? How many of them start by posing and posting cute pictures on Instagram before selling downright explicit content to join the competition? And here's the kicker. Most of them don't even call it prostitution. They'll call it sex work. They'll say it's empowering. Oh, really? If it's so empowering, Miguel, then tell me, why do you all end up depressed? Why do you constantly cry about men not respecting you? Why do you suddenly want to settle down at 30 cats in the house, only to realize that high-value men want a wife that is treated like the Holy Ghost sample? Make it make sense. This isn't empowerment, and you know that. It's self-exploitation with a pink ribbon on top. And the saddest part is that it's being fed into younger and younger girls every single day. Here's where it gets dark. You ever notice how the baddie aesthetic isn't just for grown women anymore? Have you seen what little girls are wearing these days? Have you noticed how many 12-year-olds are learning how to pose seductively for Instagram like this, with their skirt open here? Have you noticed how many of them are watching their favorite influencers twerk in crop tops and think, oh, that's what I need to do to be cool? There's an entire agenda designed to push hypersexuality onto younger and younger kids here. It's no accident. And guess what? The baddie aesthetic plays right into it. Dressing provocatively, normalized now. Talking about sex at 13 years old, encouraged in South Africa. Seeking validation from men online, expected. We even give out free condoms to teenagers. And where are the parents in all this? Oh, that's right. They're too busy defending their daughter's self-expression to realize she's being groomed into a life of insecurity, self-hatred, and basic regret. If you have a daughter and you hear her call herself a baddie, please check what she's watching. You better check who she's following, please. Please check who she's texting. Please check that phone. Just check that phone. Because that might be a red flag bigger than her fake eyelashes. Now let's fast forward a few years. What happens when all these so-called baddies turn 30? I'll tell you, they don't get married. They end up bitter, alone, and wondering why no man wants to commit to them. And then they end up chasing validation from younger men because no high-value men who's their age respects them. They end up blaming misogyny and guys like me for their problems instead of realizing they were sold a lie. Because here's the truth. Nobody respects a woman who doesn't respect herself. So if your entire identity is based on how much attention you can get from men, guess what? It's not power, that's dependency. Nobody wants that. You want to be a real baddie? Here's how. Build something. Have goals beyond looking good on Instagram. Respect yourself. Please, stop reducing your worth to how many men you find attractive. Stop seeking validation. Confidence isn't about how many people admire you. It's about how little you care if they do. Women today are being fed a lie. They're being told that the path to happiness is through external validation, sexual exploitation, and a social media approval. But the truth, the real path to happiness is self-respect, discipline, and personal growth. You and I know that. And that, my friends, is something no modern-day baddie understands. The baddie aesthetic isn't about confidence anymore. It's about insecurity. It's about adding self-destruction as empowerment. It's about leading women and children down a path of regret. So next time someone calls themselves a baddie, ask them this. Are you actually confident as a person? Who hurt you? Or are you just covering up your insecurities with makeup, crop tops, and attention and fishnets? Are you actually happy? Or are you just pretending to be while your self-worth crumbles? And most importantly, do you actually respect yourself? Those are the questions you should ask someone like that. Because if the answer is no, then congratulations, you're not a baddie. You're just lost. You're a lost soul who needs church. And you need to wake up before it's too late. Did I just make the internet angry again? I can already hear the sound of 1,000 angry keyboard warriors cracking their knuckles, ready to launch into full attack mode on Summer Sambit's channel. Because how dare I say women should respect themselves? How dare I suggest that baddie culture might actually be a giant scam designed to turn women into lifelong validation junkies? Let's take a moment of silence for all the TikTok influencers, feminists, and the blue-haired multi-tattooed activists, the 300-pound body positive warriors who currently hyperventilate into their eco-friendly paper bags. Deep breath, ladies. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Now let's get through the list of exactly how these people are going to come after me. Because the moment you criticize anything related to modern femininity, you're automatically a misogynist. Because obviously, if a man dares to have an opinion about women, he must hate them, right? Never mind the fact that I'm attacking women. I'm attacking the ideology that is actively hurting women. But nope, in the world of woke logic, there's no difference between telling a woman respect yourself and saying go back to the 1950s and make me a sandwich. You can literally be like, hey, maybe sleeping with 50 men by the time you're 22 is not the best choice, Miguel. And then they're going to scream to you and say, no, just get out, you're an incel, faster than a feminist at a Jordan Peterson lecture. It's almost like I can already hear the OnlyFans self-defense committee warming up their Twitter threads. Sex work is the real world, Summer. It's empowering. Women should be able to do whatever they want with their bodies. Take your rosaries off our ovaries. Sure. And by that logic, drug use is just alternative medicine, gambling addiction is just financial freedom, and selling your soul in Hollywood for money is just capitalism at its finest. I'm not saying women can't do OnlyFans. I'm saying they shouldn't if they actually care about their future. You know what I'm saying? Because newsflash, no high-value man wants to marry someone whose private parts have been viewed by half of Instagram. Okay? And deep down, even the woman doing it knows that. That's why they always end up bitter, alone, and angry at the men who have standards and boundaries like me. But sure, let's pretend that selling pictures of your feet to random men named Bob and Alexandra is totally the same as being a doctor, a teacher, or an engineer. Sex work is empowering, they scream. Okay, it's fine. Then tell me why every empowered OnlyFans girl eventually ends up crying in a TikTok video like Lily Phillips about how she regrets it. I'll wait. And here it comes, the body positivity degrade. This is my personal favorite because it proves exactly what I said earlier. Modern feminism isn't about empowerment, it's about excuses. And here's how the conversation usually goes for these people. I'll say something like, maybe being 300 pounds isn't healthy. And they'll say, stop body shaming me. Everybody is beautiful. And I'll go like, okay, but obesity literally kills people. And they'll go like, you're just fat phobic. Okay, so apparently stating scientific facts is now an act of oppression. Now we live in a world where telling someone, hey, maybe walking up a flight of stairs without needing an oxygen tank is a good idea, is considered hate speech. Listen, I have nothing against people being overweight. You want to eat 4,000 calories a day and pretend it's self-love? Go ahead. Just don't expect the rest of us to lie to your face and call it healthy. I'm going to tell you as it is, buddy. You're fat. You can put a bow on a grenade, but it's still a grenade. You can put a plus-size model on a vague magazine, but it's still obesity. This one is always funny, because the ones who scream about unrealistic beauty standards are the same people who spend half their paychecks on waist trainers, lip filters like this, and BBLs. So let me get this straight. If I say men like fit women, healthy women, it's unrealistic beauty standards. But if you post an Instagram post with 17 filters, fake eyelashes, and a face-tuned waist, that's self-love? Ha, you don't get to have it both ways, I'm sorry. If baddie culture was so empowering, then why do these so-called baddies spend hours trying to look like someone they're not? Make it make sense. I thought y'all didn't care what men thought. Then why are you in the gym every January after realizing your body positivity New Year's resolution was just an excuse to eat more donuts? Make it make sense. Anyone who watches this, whether they like me or not, know I'm right. You'll be shocked at the arguments most people will bring after this. If you criticize modern women today, it must mean you're a virgin who can't get any, right? That's what it means nowadays. I love how their response to everything is just, you can't get girls. Like, yeah, bro, that totally refutes every logical point I just made. Hey, maybe teaching girls to be baddies is a bad idea. Pun intended. No, you're just mad you can't get a baddie. Maybe women should stop seeking validation from strangers on social media. That's what I'm saying, guys. No, Summer, you're just an insecure incel. Look, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying maybe promoting obesity isn't body positivity. It's just unhealthy. Well, you just don't get women. That's why you're saying that. Yeah, sure, pal. Every handsome dude who tells a woman to respect themselves doesn't get any. Your girlfriend definitely doesn't envy mine when she sees her carry herself like a woman who actually values herself more than just her looks or how much of her boobs you can see. Your parents definitely aren't ashamed of the fact that their son was so desperate he started seeing an OnlyFans girl and supported her woke and delusional side, only to get friend-zoned in the end because you're not just her type. You're just like every other guy who texts her through her content creation websites. These people think they're playing chess, but they're out here struggling with checkers, and the women they're defending don't even reply to them on Instagram at all. At the end of the day, I already know how this is going to go down after the video. The woke mob is going to come after me with their predictable Twitter rants. The baddies are going to flood my comments with paragraphs about how I'm oppressing women and promoting misogyny by telling them to have self-respect. The OnlyFans girls are going to be shaking in their overpriced Fashion Nova outfits, trying to convince themselves that selling their dignity for 200 Rand a month is totally worth it. And you know what? I couldn't care less. Because deep down, even the people who will get the most mad at this video just know I'm right. You know I'm right. Y'all just don't want to admit it. Because if you do, you'll have to confront the uncomfortable truth that everything you've built your identity on is a lie, especially if you're a baddie. So go ahead, leave your angry comments. Call me every name in the book. It's not going to change the facts. All I speak is facts. The baddie aesthetic is a lie. Body positivity is just an excuse for self-destruction. And the moment you stop chasing external validation and start actually valuing yourself, you'll realize that everything I just said right now was the damn truth. Now go ahead. Let the hate begin.